Hi, beautiful people. I am Zsa Zsa. I decided to organize the Light Bearers Summit series because I wanted people to understand their own tools, to look beyond the surface, to know more about themselves, and to give them keywords in order to access their own knowledge. Well, organizing a summit is quite hard work. However, I do have privileges. And the best and the biggest and the most wonderful privilege is that I meet beautiful people, like-minded people, and I am so very excited when they say, yes, I come to your summit, because it is just amazing. It's such an honor. So today I have a wonderful person with me, Christine Michaelis. She is amazing, and she is going to tell you all about herself. Hi, Christine. Welcome.
Hello, Zata. Thank you so much. And I'm not going to tell people how amazing I am. People can decide that. People can decide that for themselves. But thank you so much, and I can really resonate with what you're saying. I organized festivals across Europe as well, for startups and entrepreneurs, and I know how much work is involved. I also did one fully online, because when what happened in the world, we had to take it online like everyone else. And thank you so much for doing this. I probably think you don't get enough credit for how much work is involved. I do know how much work is involved in organizing everything, come up with topics, coordinating the speakers, getting all the back end ready. So thank you very much. Just wanted to share my gratitude towards you organizing this. And again, bringing people together, like-minded people together, and share experiences, knowledge, and a place where you can really connect. It's wonderful. So thank you. You're welcome. So yeah, if I start, I mean, I'm Christine, like you said. I'm originally from Germany, and my background is marketing and advertising. So I used to work in the design world, and doing work for more than a decade there. Also working about 16 hours a day was the norm. So it was very, let's say, extreme working hours. I really enjoyed it, and I thought I found the thing that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And it wasn't. And I think that's the first lesson really is like, it's okay, things can change. You can decide on doing other things and finding your path. And maybe the universe is showing you other opportunities that you should take up and change really the things that you're doing. So I basically did a training in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and they also were offering coaching training. I was like, oh, what's this? What is a coach doing? And things like that. So I'm going to do that. So I did a coaching training. So whilst I was working full time, I started building up a coaching business. And again, there it was like the universe. I really believe in that there's energies and that things happen for a reason, and especially good things. And it was showing me, okay, you can work with entrepreneurs and startups. So I started working with that, and I really enjoyed it because so much passion behind it. Everyone loves what they're doing. And I was so excited. And so once I had the full-time job, once I moved to England, so I was living in England at that time, I started working and building up my coaching business. And it took me more or less like 1.5 years maybe to move fully into that kind of business and do fully what I was doing. And then for the past 11 years, I'm working with startups and entrepreneurs and supporting them really in their entrepreneurial journey, feeling a bit less overwhelmed with everything that's involved, because there's so much. All of a sudden you have to think about accounting, about the sales, about all the back end. All of a sudden you become a website designer. You need to think about search engine optimization, marketing, accounting. Oh my God, all these things that I also was pulling my hair out. But you're also someone that is trying to take all the info in like a sponge, okay, and you participate in any summits and in anything and for further development and skills that you need all of a sudden. So I try to make this a bit more structured and easier with the community and with courses and resources, how-to guides, and weekly lives with me where people can ask me questions and other experts as well. So overall, that's me and my business journey. If you have any questions about that, we can talk about it. If not, we move more into maybe a personal journey also with spirituality and also happiness.
Of course, but I would like to know one thing. You sound really excited about what you are doing. And, you know,
yes, I love it.
I love it too, because I am like all the time. And people sometimes just look at me. Yeah, okay, but what are you doing? Why are you so bloody excited? You know, but because it's fascinating what we do. And it is so wonderful to see people when they actually succeed. But I just wanted to say that in order to succeed, you need to get excited too, because we can teach, we can guide, we can give you this and that. But if you don't have the passion for what you want to achieve, actually, then it is really a waste of time and waste of energy.
Yes, and you will get demotivated quickly.
Yes, and also one more sentence, guys, and it is very important. Many people get into this business for the money. Do appreciate that it is the wrong side of the road.
It is, yes.
You have to take money, you have to charge, but it cannot be your guiding aim as such, because the point is you are going to have a very struggling existence and a lot of unhappy people around you. So please just learn from Christine, you see. She is excited, she is full of energy, and she wants to proceed. So let us see what she wants to tell us.
Yes, no, I can really thank you for pointing that out, because I think, yes, money is important. We all have bills to pay, and depending where you live in the world, it might be more or less expensive. And there were times where I really was thinking, oh my God, how do I pay the next rent? Let's see. And it happened and I was able to. However, there's times where I was really struggling and I was like crying and thinking, oh my God, I don't know, did I do the right thing? I could quit the job and I'm doing this. And it's a roller coaster. Every single entrepreneur has a roller coaster in front of them. And if money is your own driver, it's okay to want to charge it, because otherwise it's not a business, I would say. And we need to pay the bills. However, to stay motivated and for having to overcome these challenges and these things will always go slower than you think, and things will change. Things might even change outside of whatever you can control. So what happened in the world recently, I'm not want to say it, but there's so much that changed everything for everyone in every industry. And if you are not motivated for other reasons, you will give up and you will not continue and you will not enjoy the journey. If you enjoy what you do and you love what you do, the other side of that, if you're too excited, like we are, maybe, we sometimes need to slow down and think, okay, I need to switch off, because switching off is very difficult. But find something outside of work that has nothing to do with work that you can enjoy, some hobbies, some free time. Of course, if you get inspired, write down what you were thinking, but then put it aside. If you're on holiday, enjoy being at the sea and not just, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. Try really to switch off, because if not, it can lead to burnout without realizing. And this is also something I would like to pick up on, and how important really the, let's say, spiritual side and the happy side and passion is important for you in your business journey. And I also had to learn that the hard way, because again, when you're starting out, you're taking all this information in, and you cannot switch off, and you don't want to switch off because you love it and you go with it. And then, oh, I had these ideas, and then, but you're also overwhelmed with, oh God, I need to think about the taxes, and when do I need to do that? And I need to give that to the accountant and all these things. So I was really having a really difficult time also a few years back. So also after already being in business for a few years and being okay, I'm like in a rhythm. It's okay, I can do this. I was still, like I said, when I started out, I was still working full time. So when I working on my own business was on the weekends, the evening, and lunch hour, if I had a lunch hour, and that's no good. Of course, you need to take breaks and you need to do things. But even when I then went full time of what I was doing, I was working 7 days a week, probably not 16 hours, but 7 days a week. And I was like, I don't have time to take off a Sunday. What are you talking about? And then there was a very difficult year, health-wise, in family as well, plus a lot of work. And I got actually diagnosed with a brain tumor. And that just took everything out of perspective, and I don't know how you say this in English, actually took away the bottom under my feet, and was really a difficult time. Yes. And that sometimes this needs to happen to wake up and change things. And it did for me. But I would really highly recommend that everyone is looking after themselves before this happens. And I was lucky enough to not get into a burnout. I was able to step on the brakes to avoid getting into full burnout and hospital and things like that. Luckily, after 2 months of thinking I have a brain tumor, it turns out I don't have a brain tumor. The doctor was just saying this because it was an incompetent doctor. And what it turned out to be is actually my pituitary gland that is like behind the third eye is full moon shape instead of a half moon shape. And this is why they thought it's a brain tumor. And it turns out that in the spiritual world, like I learned afterwards, this means I'm more connected to the universe and talking to it, something like that. And so this has made me think, and I always wanted to be a bit more a spiritual person as well and look into things. And this really, I think, pushed me also into that. So first of all, looking into self-care and take it more seriously for myself.
Yeah.
Plus also discovering more of a spiritual side of things. And I'm not necessarily just thinking of, oh, there's astrology and this and that, because there's a lot of things. I also met an elderly couple that was extremely spiritual and had a lovely farm where I was lucky enough to spend time and learn about astrology and things like that. Amazing. And this, I think, got me into things. And now actually I looked more into things and did a lot of courses on living with the moon cycles, for example. I love it. I absolutely love it. I know there's this energy out there as well. I use healing crystals a lot in what I'm doing, essential oils. So I know, and there's also like actually scientific background for that these things work, and that I can see the benefits in that. And I think that helps me with my self-care, and it also helps me in my business. It helps me to be more productive, and it helps me to be more focused on certain things, and so on. And it made me also go into the journey of discovering what happiness actually means to me.
Yeah, so we have arrived at the understanding of life, the most important journey of life.
Yes.
So what do you think? What is happiness? Or what happiness for you?
Yeah, that is exactly the question, because I think happiness is the one thing that people need to understand. Happiness means different things for everyone, and that is okay. Sometimes people look for, no, you tell me what it is, and then I can do it. I can be happy. It's a lifelong journey. I think happiness, and there's this famous quote also by Gandhi, I think, that goes like, happiness is if you what you think and what you do and what is happening in your life is aligned or something like that. For me, is happiness is that I actually can appreciate the things that I have, that I found love in with my soon-to-be husband, actually, very late in life, if some people might say so. So if you find the love of your life in your 40s, people say sometimes that a bit old. I think you're never too old to find love in your life. Happiness is being with people that I love, being able to enjoy the moment and not be dragged into negativity by others or what's happening in the world, and being able to create my own happy universe, let's say, wherever I am, not being too attached to materialistic things, but having the right people around me that are right for me, that give me energy and that I can give energy back. And if we're talking about business life, like you said, I absolutely love what I do, and I will continue doing it for as long as I love it. If I don't love it anymore, then I will stop doing it and we'll do something else. And I love meeting people. It makes me happy if I make other people happy. Really, it's like that. And if I can put a smile on people's face, it opens up my heart.
Wonderful. Well, I usually teach that happiness is a philosophy. It is a way of looking at life. That's my understanding of it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's mirrored in what I was saying, because
Oh,
I
yeah,
said
yeah, yeah.
it's
No,
like
I just
yes,
one sentence, of course.
yes,
Stuff. Definitely.
yeah,
That's why I did it, actually, because I just wanted to sort of summarize.
yeah, yes.
Very nice, very nice. And do you think, because there are understandings in this so-called spiritual world, I don't really like saying that, because as far as I'm concerned, we are all the amalgamation of Earth and the universe through the soul and our physical body. So spirituality is not a plus journey as such. It is part of living or part of life, and it's not something extraordinary. And we need to understand that we have to know about it, because that is our knowledge, actually, about living and living conditions. So many people are saying that, okay, you are spiritual, but I am not spiritual. And so they actually stop themselves from entering into something that they don't understand just yet, so they stop themselves. What do you think they should do? Or do you have any idea what to advise?
Yes, I think it is a good point, and I share your point of view, actually, because everyone is interconnected with each other and with the universe, and but people are not aware of it. So the thing I think that I would advise first is, okay, think of a time where you were manifesting, like they say. They might not use the word manifesting, of course, but where you were thinking of something that you really need in that moment, and then it just appeared. Okay, so that will already show, this is what happens. Think about something that happened where you thought, wow, this is happening to me in a good way, and think about why that happened. Did you make that happen? Maybe did you put an intention out there that you attracted that? I mean, people, if we're talking about entrepreneurs, businesses, and looking from a strict business point of view, you set goals, and then you set milestones to achieve that goal, and it's not really so different, because you think about something and you visualize and you feel the emotions, and you put that out there, and you're just using different language, but you basically put that out there. You put this energy out there, and you put out there what you want to attract and where you want to be. And businesses use all those tools, but they don't connect it to spirituality. And I think revisiting these things and saying, actually, that means I'm connected to something, and it's in my hand to activate this even more in an active way and not in a passive way. That might already help.
Yes, it is very interesting. At the end of the road, I don't really like that we make differences between life and spirituality as such, because that is the problem, and that actually started the problem. That during the Pisces era, Earthlings started to cut up everything because they didn't understand the whole a lot, what they still don't understand, of course, and they just sort of cut them up and putting labels on this part, saying, okay, I understand this one, and I put another label on that one, but oh yeah, but it is not really important. So they actually divided the knowledge and our understanding into sort of boxes and places and understanding. And it is very difficult to put them together now. And that's what I am doing with my philosophy, actually. But the idea is that I don't really think that we should talk about life and spirituality separately. But then again, we have to, because nobody understands otherwise.
Exactly. But I understand exactly what you mean. But the way the brain works and the way we can cope with things that happen in life, good or bad, is to categorize things, put them into certain labels, and then make a decision if this is important to us at the moment or not, which does not mean you shouldn't have the whole package, because you do. Everyone has all the drawers and everyone has that in their life, but they might not open the drawer in that moment because they think it's not that important to me right now. And I think that's okay, as long as people start understanding that it is there and you can open the drawer whenever you want. But it can be difficult for people. But I also say not everyone is different and they can believe in different things. However, I think no one can deny that there's spirituality part in people's life like that. And I do understand you think it's not two separate things, and it's not, but in people's head it is. And so to teach people about it and to make people understand about it, you need to say this, and you might speak to some people more than to others, and that's okay. In the end, we're all one whole thing that interact with each other with energy, and also with things that we don't understand. And we will probably in my lifetime for at least not understand, but we can accept and we can maybe embrace things.
Yes. Well, we are very different in this way, obviously, because everybody understands and chooses things according to their mental and emotional intelligence. Yes. And that is the key word for me here, that sometimes we say, okay, that choice is good for us, but we might not see that it is going to hit back 2 days later. And then we figure out, and yeah, but this choice wasn't the best one. I should have chosen the other stuff, because we need to actually understand the consequences of everything also, not just the actual presence or the present situation as such. So very interesting. And of course, people would understand more and more about it if they learn about it, because that is something you have to learn. You cannot possibly just have it. You have to learn, consciously have to learn, because otherwise your mind will mix up everything, and you will put gap fillers into every little gap you have, and you cannot connect the whole lot.
I think also another thing is that we have to unlearn a lot. So it's not about learning new things, but unlearning a lot of things, because everyone has their own view of the world. Some people disagree and say, no, there's only one view. In my opinion, everyone sees the world in different ways, because we all grew up not only in different cultures and different continents, but also in different circumstances with different people around you. And we create this map of our world and have specific values. And some people believe in God, some people don't. And some people say there's a higher energy and call that God or call that the universe. In the end, a lot of, and I don't want to go into religion, but a lot of beliefs that people have are actually all the same. They just give it different names. And it helps actually to move forward, having some faith in something and unlocking things. But then where do you look for answers and how do you learn the skills is then a question where people need to come in that have actually the knowledge about that.
Yes, it is very exciting. Well, here we can talk about religions. It is not a taboo in any way whatsoever. I mean, everyday life, we come across in social media, in the media, all about, blacking certain religions and putting on a pedestal another one. I mean, they are not very good. They actually they divide people rather than pull them together. So I teach religions to my students, teach all the religions to my students, because I want them to understand what they are all about. And they can get into any conversation about them whenever it comes up. So I think it is very important to understand that. Anyhow, our conversation is not about that. I just tell you that you can talk about anything here.
Yes, okay.
The Light Bearers Summit,
Yes.
Not a
Awesome.
floating surface business. So
yes.
whatever comes to your mind, you can talk about. Well, it is very exciting. And what are you going to present on the summit? Just to
So with this, everything that you've learned about me now and the journey that I went through, I actually, over the past few years, I've read so many books on happiness and joy and what's the difference and how do you actually achieve that? Like everyone just wants to be happy in the end. And I did some certifications. I did like courses also at the Yale University online, and I'm an officially certified happiness facilitator and all of this. And I was like,
oh
okay.
my.
Yeah. So I did all of this over the past few years, and I was like, okay, but you learn a lot of things and you don't implement them in your life. So I always need to do something about it for myself. And I thought, okay, I'll write something that I then can also put out there in the world and maybe help other people to find their happiness. So I developed the happiness formula. And basically this, I wrote a book about that will be actually released next week, or will be released by the time people will see this. And this formula is based on an acronym that's called SMILE. And I'm basically going to talk through that and give some practical tips and tools, how people maybe use this formula to discover their own happiness.
Wonderful. We are looking forward to that, my love. And guys, keep your eyes open.
Keep your eyes open and on me.
Yes. She's going to bring you happiness.
I bring you happiness, hopefully. At least I hopefully make you smile as well.
Oh,
maybe some of the passion rubs off.
Definitely a good idea. Thank you very, very much, Christine. Beautiful to see you, and hope to see you at the summit. See you guys. Take good.
Thank you. Bye.